Never heard of it.
Episode 6. Are you guys tired of this already?
Episode 666.
Oh my god, if we get to episode 666,
That's like, what, 10 years? 12 years, maybe?
12 years.
All right. Well, to our 12-year-old selves later.
12
What are you doing?
Selves?
What
Or
are you
12 year
doing?
Older.
Yeah, 12. Yeah, well, to our past and future selves.
Yes.
Don't do this and stop. All right. You know the rules, and so do I. We're going to watch a movie right now we've never heard of.
I hope you know them. You invented them.
I know, it's true. We're going to watch a movie we've never heard of. We're going to search for it on YouTube right now. The only caveat is that we could have never, ever have heard of it.
Ever. Not even once.
Never.
It should have been called Not Even Once.
That's true.
And then in small letters, meth.
Yeah, I was gonna say, then when you search for like meth commercials, this will come up.
Okay, so do we want to do any qualifiers? Like last week we did demons, which did not work out so well.
That's what I was thinking. Do you want to try again?
I would like to see some sort of satanic,
Yeah.
Okay.
horror movie. Maybe I should type in satanic.
Yeah. Because last week did not go so well.
Yeah. Okay, satanic panic 70s occult horror films.
Okay.
Yes.
That might
Promising.
be more.
Although, to be fair, like historically, Satanic Panic is like feels more 80s to me, but
yeah.
I won't argue with YouTube user Tony something I can't read.
Tony Buhagiar.
All right.
Our latest subscriber,
Friend of the
Tony.
show. Yeah.
Friend of the show, yeah. This one's called The Thirsty Dead.
Oh.
It's a TV movie. It's a TV movie.
Oh, forget it.
After last week.
I know.
Trilogy of Terror. It's only an hour and 12 minutes.
Wow.
Short trilogy.
Dan's goal is to find the shortest so that he doesn't have to watch it.
I'm just commenting on how short of a trilogy it is.
Let's see.
Terror Creatures from the Grave.
Oh, 1965 though.
Whoa.
Oh. Yeah.
What about
Longest
Scream?
edit in English.
What about The Scream of the Wolf, 1974?
A big game hunter comes out of retirement to track down the creature behind a series of ghastly murders. This looks... I think it's like werewolf.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
something satanic about that.
No, that one's made for TV.
Damn.
What about... Wait, go back up a little bit?
Rock, It's Your Decision, Christian anti-rock film.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, this will be the scariest one we've seen so far.
Go, scroll up a little bit.
Uh-huh.
What was The Creeper, a.k.a. Rituals?
Wait,
Oh,
Hal Holbrook.
Jesus.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Not for kids.
Are you thinking of Hans Delbruck? A rich playboy has... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. 5 doctors on a wilderness outing are stalked by disfigured, crazed killers. I'm looking up who Hal Holbrook is.
I know exactly who he is. He's actually on The Sopranos. He's in the episode where Tony gets shot. He plays the guy who's like, he has like esophageal cancer, like in the room next to him, and he's like very philosophical. It's when The Sopranos went like overboard.
Of course.
How about Asylum of Satan, 1972?
Ooh. Taking it real far back.
Mm-hmm.
The evil Dr. Spectre incurs the devil's wrath when his sacrificial virgin proves to be anything but pure.
What?
It's rated PG.
No.
I know it was 1972, but...
Let's see.
Devil Dog Hound of Hell.
Yeah, do that one.
As in Drake's Devil Dogs?
Yes.
Sponsored by...
Twinkies. Cream of hell.
Suburban homeowners and their family cannot escape from a demonic dog. God,
What?
Okay, I know that this whole podcast is to watch bad movies, but these are like pretty bad.
How about Black Noon, 1971?
Ooh. A traveling minister and his wife find an Old West cult involving a gunfighter and a mute beauty.
It's labeled as horror?
Horror/Western.
Okay, let's get out of this playlist. This one is not. This one's not doing it for me.
It's normally we find it in the first like 2 or 3. So
I know. Hell of the Living Dead, English with Japanese subtitles.
Dan's favorite.
Don't Go Into the House sub.
Hell of the Living Dead says, oh my god, there's eyeballs squishing out of people's heads.
Wait, what about Schizoid?
Oh.
1980.
Someone's... Okay.
Uh-oh.
Someone is scissoring a group therapist's patients. It's literally about someone who's killing people with scissors.
Okay.
I see.
Man, 6th time is not the charm. This is not going... Does that say the boogers?
The Boogans. This is horror, alien horror, sci-fi. Ooh, okay. Jaws of Satan, 1981.
Oh, yes. It's about a satanic shark. It says... it says... While being transported... Oh, my fucking God. Okay. Oh, my God. While being transported via train to a carnival, a king cobra is let out of its box by Satan, and it kills 2 railroad workers. The snake flees into the night under the influence of demonic powers. It eventually heads towards a small Alabama town ready to strike in the name of evil. Meanwhile, the town's Roman Catholic priest discovers that his ancestor was none other than St. Patrick, who drove the snakes from Ireland.
Oh my god. It sounds so complicated.
I know.
That's a
and
maybe.
Christina Applegate is in it.
Wow. That's a maybe.
It looks like there's
Faces of
some
Death
potentially
2 and Worst Faces of Death. Is that a movie or is that just a compilation of faces of people dying?
Oh no, it's a 1987 film.
I've seen Faces of Death, the first one. It's it's a combination of like accident footage with stuff that they've staged.
Ew.
Yeah. How about Superstition, 1982?
After George Leahy moves with his wife and kids to a large and very old New England house, strange and deadly occurrences begin to happen. Eventually, it is revealed, I don't want to know, that a vengeful witch haunts the home and nothing seems to appease the evil spirit. Intent on stopping the carnage, Inspector Sturgis and Reverend David Thompson join together to rid the place of the sinister force, but the witch isn't easily vanquished.
It's only an hour and 20 minutes.
I thought it was just going to be a Stevie Wonder music video.
The superstition is that he can't end it.
Well, it's like Thriller, where it's like a whole movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down for either the snake one or Superstition.
Do you want to do the snake one? Or you want to do Jaws of Death?
I'm kind of curious about
Jaws of
Jaws
Satan.
of Satan.
Yeah,
All right,
Jaws of Satan.
all right. Let me put that on the board. What color should I make it?
Green,
Green.
Yeah.
because it's a snake.
Okay.
I mean, if we're gonna go all out, we might as well.
Jaws of Satan. What year is that? 1981?
1981.
Yes.
1981.
There's if you go on Google Images, there's like a Blu-ray that you can buy that's half Jaws of Satan, half a movie called Empire of the Ants.
Oh, a creature feature double feature.
Yes.
Okay.
Something-
Joseph
the
Satan has a 4.0 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh, which means that it's going to be 8.0 out of 4, which is how we do our rating scale.
Okay.
The tagline is something you wouldn't dare to imagine is alive.
How about something like
It's just a snake.
Back,
Oh, that's a good one.
or watch out for Satan, something like
Yes.
that. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out here. These are not the fully organic. We're gonna work
Listen.
off of these. If you think these are the final
The
ones,
synthetic.
We're
we got
gonna
another thing
workshop
coming.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're workshopping it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Jaws of Satan.
Yes.
Oh, there's no subtitles.
No, at all.
No, there's no option for subtitles.
God, that's like the whole point of this podcast.
I know.
That's where we get 50% of our jokes.
An MGM company.
Here
This
we
is
go.
a ride at MGM Hollywood Studios.
I wish.
Oh, right into it.
All right.
I just love that, like, most of the movies, when you look them up on Google, it's like right in this on the side, it'll say like the year, whatever, and it'll have like one sentence. This one had that paragraph I read was like the thing that comes up on Google. It's not like I went looking for that. It's just that you can't describe this plot in one sentence.
It's so complex.
I know. So deep.
I mean, like, the plot synopsis doesn't need to tell me that Satan is the one that lets the snake loose.
It's implied by
That's
the title
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the poster.
They could just
Yeah,
say
exactly.
that.
I mean, because the last movie, there was nothing to be afraid of. There were no stakes. There was no reason to be nervous for the main character. Like, none of it was...
No.
It was, like, vaguely threatening. But this one, like, a snake is going to hurt you whether it's demonic or not.
Exactly.
So at least there's that. Or it can. It's not going to, but it could. I'm not saying all snakes are bad.
The guy that directed this movie directed 11 episodes of Charles in Charge.
Wow. I bet I could tell which ones. He has a very distinct style.
There's a lot of snakes in that. Those
Yeah. Now, Charles, when you pick up the snakes... He called everybody by the character name.
Yeah. He couldn't remember their regular names.
You're right.
Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes!
Get it? Do you get it?
I don't. Could you explain it to me?
Oh, well, because the movie's about a snake.
How am I supposed to concentrate?
Smart.
With all this train noise.
I got dogs going to a racetrack. You're bringing a goddamn snake to a carnival. Starting to feel like a zoo.
What?
Well, at least my snake's quiet. He just sleeps.
Why would a snake need to be at a carnival?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Oh, look at that snake. Oh, look at that.
Is the lock just gonna pop off?
Well, Satan's gonna unlock it. I hope it's like long red fingers come and like...
You stay with a carnival anyway.
He
Money
uses his
stinks.
tongue to unlock it.
Tell me this world must be alive.
Feel nice.
Chicks, man. They like to hang around for the excitement.
Of a carnival?
Hey, what
Chicks
chick would
love
want
carnivals.
They all pushovers for anyone in show business.
What was that wink?
You? Well, I better go take a look see.
Well, better go beat the dogs again.
Somebody might be trying to cop a free ride.
Yeah, you be careful.
Why would some... Listen.
Are they supposed to have like southern accents?
Carney accents.
Carney accents, yes.
Well, I'm back. Why would it be cold in there?
Because Satan's in there, maybe?
Yeah.
Satan's icy breath.
It's a very Dante's Inferno Satan if he's cold, right?
Yep, exactly. The more classical
Better
Satan.
come out of there now.
Yes.
Yes.
Better come on out, Lucifer. I can't wait till we get to the part where the priest just happens to find out that his ancestor is St. Patrick.
His mom just mentions it in passing. Would you like 1 lump or 2 of sugar? By the way, you're an ancestor of St. Peter. Anyway, the biscuits that I made today were a little bit tougher than usual.
It's your great uncle's holiday today, March 17th. Oh!
No, gravity is pulling me out. When you open a train door, it's like when opening a door in space.
Yeah.
You get sucked out.
Oh, did he die?
He
The
died.
train was
How did
barely
that-
moving.
How did that even happen? I already have so many questions.
Yeah, like, why did he recoil so strongly from the snake?
I have no idea.
And who pushed him out the door?
And he would have known about this. He knows about the snake.
Yeah.
Like they were just having a conversation about it.
Does this guy have really bad eyes? He was getting really close to that poster about women in bikini.
What's the matter with you?
Hey, what's the matter with you? I should have never named you Linguini. The snake just better be standing in the doorway.
Right? Like full
straight
height.
up.
He's standing straight out. Yeah. He's only like 2.5 feet tall. Down here.
Oh!
He's so unfazed. Look at him.
Did it bite him or did it just like touch him?
He gave him a rabbit punch.
Yeah.
He gave him an attaboy.
That was terrible.
The snake stopped the train.
The snake has a little conductor's hat on now.
Day for night. Anyway, meanwhile,
Meanwhile, back in Ireland.
Oh. Is the movie starting over?
That was the prequel. That was like the short before a Pixar movie.
Maybe it's just like an anthology film of like, it's like small little skits of the snake doing different things.
It's like
Yeah.
the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, but with a snake.
He stops a train, he flies a plane,
He
he
drives
wins a
an
race of
automobile.
some sort, yeah. He learns to love again.
Thank you, Father.
Do you know why?
How
Thank you, Father.
Satan the snake got his groove back.
No, Father.
Because he gets more praise after he's dead than when he's alive. In my get, eh?
Now, that's not the sort of joke one expects to hear from a priest.
I'll try to be more careful from now on.
Well, listen to this. Fuck.
There.
No, leave that. I'm gonna read a little while.
I'm about to blow your mind, lady.
Jesus Christ.
Cock ass.
How come you didn't have that on your soundboard?
I know. My soundboard isn't working today. It kept crashing my computer. So I don't have any sounds for you today.
I want
that?
that for next time. I want you to have "He's My Butler."
Yeah.
That is the
Yeah.
soundbite.
Okay. You got it. You got it.
That's a good one.
Now, where was I? Necronomicon, page 7.
Klaatu, Harata.
Necktie. Don't say these words. Hold on, let me read them out loud. Hold on. And the fire burns so bright, my hand hurts. That old war wound. I'll just throw this
Passed
in the
down
fire.
from my great uncle St. Patrick.
Oh, that's strange. The fire usually doesn't go out till 9.
He forgot he installed the clapper. He's like, warm.
Ah, shit.
Cold as ice.
Oh, that music. What is this? The fucking Addams Family? That music is so cheesy.
Mabel, is that you playing on my harpsichord again? How many goddamn times do I have to tell you? Oof. Okay, so he lives in a slave owner's house.
I was gonna say plantation much? Jeez.
It's so lonely on the plantation after the Civil War.
The ghosts of the slaves are what's actually haunting him.
I know. That would be a good movie.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All the dead slaves rise up as zombies.
Matt, you old son of a
Oh,
gun.
yes.
How you been?
Oh, good, Em. Real good.
Enough talk. Where's my drink?
How have you been? Well, oh, shut up! Enough talk!
May I introduce my daughter?
I said enough!
Did I ask you?
She's a real live witch.
Are you really? Yes, really. That I'm a witch who uses her powers for good. How can
No
you
such
good
thing.
against witchcraft?
Never heard of
The
it.
witches do a lot of good. We heal the sick. We foretell the future and advise lovers. We promote fertility. But don't worry, Matt. I'm not promoting any right now. Matt.
What?
Lady's
She's
in the den
6
making
years old.
campaigns.
Yeah.
Boring
And the other
everybody
lady's
to
like
tears.
80,
Well, I'll
so
ask you this.
I know.
Certainly.
between them, there's no fertility.
No.
Thanks, son. I'm glad you could come, Ev. How's your drink? Need some ice? No, mustn't dilute it. Let's sit down.
No, I like pure
I'm
grain
an
alcohol and
alcoholic.
nothing but.
Use a crystal ball. No, crystal ball is just a prop for fake fortune tellers. I use things that people touch or hold.
Like money?
People can't hold on to that long enough to make an impression.
What?
Simple things. Something that picks up a person's rhythm. Their vibes.
Like what?
Grounds and a coffee cup can tell a lot.
Can you read mine?
Ew.
Wait, people don't hang on to money long
Henry
enough, but they
Coco.
touch the grounds in the coffee cup long enough.
Let me see your hand.
Wait, but you don't drink coffee. You don't put the grounds in the coffee cup.
I know.
When you
unless,
drink
unless
coffee,
it's-
right? Like,
Yeah.
I like my coffee dirty.
Obey your
With pulp.
Yeah.
I'm a real coffee of the earth kind of guy.
I like it to feel like I'm drinking
Stop
mud.
talking so much. Just trying to
Gross.
pick up a few votes. You want to pick up a few votes? Shut up.
Oh.
Burned his
Damn.
ass. That guy's gonna be thinking about that for the rest of his life.
It's gonna keep him awake at night.
Hello, Madam Witch.
This was the blueprint for Aaron Burr talking to Alexander Hamilton.
Truffles in the mud.
How about the dog?
Shut up.
Any predictions on that? I have a couple. Well, I didn't know you were a clairvoyant father.
Wouldn't take a ESP to know that gambling will make a lot of people miserable. Some people very rich.
For someone who pays no taxes, you have a lot to say.
Oh.
Wow.
Matt,
Damn.
I haven't been introduced to Father Farrow yet.
Evelyn, this is Father Farrow, St. Mike's new pastor. Father Farrow, Evelyn Downs, our town historian.
And local sorceress.
Yes, so I've heard.
Heard a lot
Yeah.
about you, too.
Yes, I bet you have.
Wasn't he just drinking
No,
alcohol?
I've been doing some
Yes.
research. You're
He's
descended from
double-fisted.
the Sligo,
Oh.
aren't you?
Yes?
I turned this alcohol into tea.
That's a fascinating family. It goes all the way back to the
One
roots.
of my miracles.
And
Yeah,
once it
some
hits
sort
my
of reverse
Smashed
Jesus.
temples
and
carried
once
on
it
like a
hits my stomach,
one-family
it turns back into alcohol.
I'm going to talk to my uncle. He spends most of his
All the
time
booze
shaking
with none of the
a
guilt.
tree.
Father Farrow seems to have inherited
Amen to
some of
that.
the reforming zeal.
It's just a touch.
Considering your family history, Father, I sure would like to have a look at that coffee cup.
Your family history.
Does she know about St. Patrick's Day? I mean, St.
St. Patrick's Day. I hope so.
Let me tell you about a day.
Have you ever heard of a day that comes between March 16th and the 18th?
Oh, I've suddenly fallen dead.
She's got the vapors.
Feels like a snake has bitten me. Oh.
Are you all right?
Feels like a snake's trying to push me out of a moving train.
Sure.
Sure as if I saw it in my crystal ball.
Would you mind telling me what you saw in my cup?
If you walk me to my car, I'll talk to you about it.
Yeah, sure.
I actually don't think that
I think you should
priests have to
drive.
wear
I
the
can drop
collar.
you.
unless they're
Never
on
mind
official
about
business
me.
outside.
You're the one who's in
Yeah,
danger.
right?
Yeah, like
Maybe he
I mean,
just
it's like
likes
a
wearing
it's like a movie trope
What
that
you
like
saw in my
Yeah.
cup?
all priests just have one outfit.
Yeah.
Maybe people just don't recognize him if he doesn't have it on.
Yeah.
He's like, who are you? Oh, yes, of course, Father
Hello,
Flanagan.
Father.
Never before.
It's like a Clark Kent Superman situation.
Yeah.
It's as if I were looking into the face of Satan.
In his teacup? Oh, shit.
Well, let me tell you about Satan.
Politics are one thing. We're
Invented in the
alone now.
1500s. Hell doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it was I saw in the cup.
It sort of looked like a carnival
It wasn't
snake.
human.
I saw a train and two men.
Did it have a forked tail and little horns?
He wants your soul. Is that a joke to you?
Why, yes.
That wasn't Satan you saw.
It's
That was
hilarious.
me.
How can I make you understand?
Well, let me put it this way. If the devil came to Earth to destroy a priest, he'd choose one that was worth destroying, wouldn't he? Someone worthy of his attention.
What are you trying to say about yourself? That you're a really good priest or a really bad priest?
Wouldn't he want to destroy
I'm
someone
very
like
sure
me,
about
the greatest
this.
priest that ever lived? I could have been Pope, you know. I could have been Pope twice if I wanted.
Satan thinks I'm that important. That's something of an honor, isn't it? I'm very flattered.
Now get in the trunk.
In any case, don't
Now put on these
worry about me
handcuffs.
anymore. I can take care of myself, all right. All right?
What would happen if like he was the snake? Like he turned into a human and he unhinged his
Whoa.
jaw to eat his victims.
That would have been awesome. Bye.
Bye, see ya.
She's like, this is new in my car.
Good thing I know how to hotwire a car. He's like, ugh, it's so awkward if I go back inside now.
I already said bye to everybody. Look at the snake.
It looks like a hand puppet.
Yeah.
It's somebody with a sock on.
Hey, hey.
What is? Oh, it's an axe. I couldn't see the whole thing because
It
of the
looked like he was
quality. of
smacking
the
it with a
video.
shovel.
Yeah.
Look, guys, it's the snake. Hey, I'm gonna eat you. Ah! Oh, there it is. Oh,
Ah! There
Yeah.
you are.
we're gonna have snake commentary. That's my
Do a
brother.
different voice.
I don't understand. The snake was clearly in the foreground.
Sheriff, I'm Denise Williams.
Yeah, right.
That guy swung at nothing.
Okay, you stand here. I'll talk
Joe, that snake is
so
basically
hard.
the snake from the
Something like
movie.
that.
I
And
know.
I'll walk over to you and do an interview, okay?
Yes, I filmed the part in 1980, but the movie really came out in 1981.
This sheriff guy's pants go all the way up to this woman's shoulders.
Today, the police have a mystery on their hands. This is Green County
The sheriff's
Sheriff
pants
George Taylor.
were actually
What's the
designed
word
for a
on
giant.
Sheriff?
Oh, they really do.
The scene. The engineer was dead
Wow, a
from
black
the
sheriff.
The only survivor.
Worked in Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles?
Do you have any idea what caused all this?
We're investigating that.
Will this affect the opening of the new dog track?
No way. Everything's under control.
No, he sounds like Homer Simpson. No way, Marge.
No further comment.
Action News will keep you up
He
to
sounds
date
like the
on latest
doctor from
developments
The
in this
Simpsons.
story.
Oh, yeah, Dr.
Franklin
Hibbert.
County-
Yeah.
I'm a
Who's
non-threatening
this, the train
snake.
guy?
You can tell by my stripes on the side of my head that
Did you just have that sock on your desk?
what?
Did you just have that sock on your desk?
We moved a bunch of stuff. We sold a bunch of furniture, so my dresser is now my like to-go bag. So it's like right here.
Oh.
This was a very complicated scene to film. He just didn't know how to act like he was in a diabetic coma.
I'm waiting for a minute. Right.
What character even is that? Is that one of the guys from the tree?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, I think it's the guy that
Okay.
fell out. Right?
How'd they find him? Wow, this movie has everything. A black sheriff, a woman doctor. Amazing. Compared to all the other movies we've seen, which has boobs in the first 5 minutes. A Spanish guys with terrible accents.
The Jaws of Satan is being called the most progressive film in 1981. You can't believe how progressive we are. Women, people of color. Catholic guilt.
The bar is underground. It's so low.
This is actually a dialogue-heavy scene, but none of the actors could remember their lines.
Pulse is a little slow. Did you check for serum sensitivity?
What's the snake who played the snake in the movie? What's his name?
His name is Wayland Slithers.
Brava.
Thank you. Oh, that's all for me. You only booked me for 10 minutes. My rate is $1,000 per minute, and we just blew our entire year budget. I'll return later when the snake reappears, and the movie is less boring.
Home cooked?
No, thanks.
Is that a chicken wing? Yeah.
He's like, frog's legs. Mmm.
Gross.
The engineer. Just a plain old massive coronary. Now, he was working on a drinker's liver. Probably would have given him trouble in a couple of years, but other than that, a pretty healthy spot.
Skip the details. Did you find out anything?
Yeah.
What do you mean? That is details. Did you find anything out? Be very general.
Voila.
Wait, he didn't get bitten on that side of his face?
No, that's the guy who the snake just smacked him in the face.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he got hit on the other side, though. On his right side, our left.
On his right, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Listen, this movie never proclaimed to have good continuity or attention to detail.
There's some kind of dangerous snake crawling around. Maybe we ought to make some sort of announcement.
Why would they think it's a dangerous snake that's gonna... It's like a serial killer snake.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you just be like, oh, what a horrible accident?
Rumors you announce there's a renegade rattler loose, and in a week they'll call it a boa constrictor.
I was in the Peace Corps in South America. I saw a lot of snake bites, but I've never seen anything like this.
This woman is an elf. Her ears are so pointy.
We ought to bring in an expert from the university.
Perry won't like outside.
Yes, when I destroyed the One Ring, I saw many snake bites like this.
My brother Legolas and I.
You're just a kid.
Yeah, just a kid with an A1 case of virulent syphilis.
Wow.
That guy's chicken kept, like, regenerating. I swear he got more and more chicken every time it cut.
That's one of his powers.
One of many.
An infinite chicken wing? That
Yeah.
sounds great.
He's like, I don't need anything else. All I have to do is just snack on this one wing.
For the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it keeps getting back, like, maybe like a little bit of crispy skin or something.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
I'll take an infinite chicken wing.
So, would you say it's one wing to rule them all then, to continue
Wow.
on?
Wow. Brava.
I want to be an actress.
And I'm from the Pasadena Playhouse. That's a clip that we need to get.
Hi.
Yeah. Just use it every 5 minutes for no reason.
How you doing?
You're Dr. Hendrick.
There's supposed to be Dr. Sheridan who picked me up here. He send you?
I'm Dr. Sheridan.
Oh, classic.
My car's over here.
Classic
I'm
meet
sorry.
cute.
That's okay.
Right? When I assume that you're an underling
Well,
for a
what
male
about these snake
doctor.
bites?
Because I
Yeah.
can't
What's so
fathom that a
unusual?
woman could be a doctor.
Only one of them is unusual.
Describe it.
Well, it...
Hey, listen, I don't want to offend you, but you might be overreacting.
Like
He hasn't
women
hurt
tend to
anyone.
do.
You see the corpse.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Look, I don't want to alarm you, but I don't believe all women.
She's like, yes, I'm the doctor you're supposed to be meeting. And he's like, you're hysterical.
Yeah.
He just slaps her.
Maybe now we'll have an understanding. He's like,
He gets right back on the plane and it
Contamination
takes
style.
off. It takes off like vertically.
I just want to drop in on one patient. It's on the way to the lab. Is that okay?
No.
Well, I wish you had told us before we got there.
he said no.
Yeah.
And she said, well, fuck you. I'm going anyway.
Well, I'm the only one here who has a license.
And then she told him he had a small penis, and he was like, oh, okay.
Still there.
He said, you've got a point there. I'll come in with
I've
you.
never seen one as weird as this.
Weird. Weird in what way?
He stood straight up on his tail, swaying in the wind like a cornstalk.
Stood up?
Stood up.
On his
Then
two
I
hind
chopped off
legs.
his head with the hedge cutter, but the rest of his body just stood there, straight as an arrow. I got him right here.
What? He has a snake?
The movie's over.
Done. Credits. Roll credits.
Well, it's Diamondback, all right. This is thick.
That's
Big
what she said.
specimen for this area.
That's what she said.
It's just a rattlesnake. There's nothing special about it.
That's what she said.
Hey!
Well, you haven't seen what I told you about at the airport yet.
Back to this set.
Yes.
It's the wrong guy. This is on the autopsy table.
Do they regularly just change those bodies out like within the hour?
I know what. That was so.
Also not the right.
Nope.
Where's Dr. Owens?
He had a call from the mayor.
What happened to the cadaver that was in here, the young male?
Released.
On whose authority?
Dr. Owens.
Satan's.
Funeral home.
Look, I'm just the janitor, ma'am.
Here it is, Freeburg Crematorium.
Wow,
I
he
was
read
gonna
it without
say,
looking at it.
He's got mind reading abilities. I was gonna say, did they already cremate the body?
Yeah. This doctor guy really looks like he just doesn't want to be here.
It's
I
part of like a
know.
contractual obligation to do like this movie and one other.
Getting high. It's not gonna help.
Yeah, well, Father, thanks.
Oh, look at this nerd.
Let's see a mass occasionally. You know,
Hey, you just need more confidence. Women will like you eventually.
Yeah, Father, I know what you mean.
Just stop sticking your hand down your pants. You'll be fine. 2 Hail Marys and call me in the morning. Oh, thank God. Thank God that little shit is gone. You know when
He won't leave me alone.
You know when people like loosen their ties, he just like flicks out the little white thing. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, much better.
Yeah.
Father, it's happened.
Because when he has that in, like he communicates with God, and when he has it off, God can't hear him.
It's happened.
So he's like, oh, son of a bitch. Sorry, God, what'd you
Severs
say?
the connection.
Sorry, we broke up. I must have been going in a tunnel.
Last night.
It was windy.
Yeah.
Stand him.
Something Evelyn, you're more religious than I am.
There are things you have to learn. Your life may depend on it.
Math, science.
All right. I'll
Reading.
Come over a little.
Geography.
No. No. I'll come to you.
STEM!
Promise me. Promise me you won't go out tonight.
Okay, Evelyn, stay cool. I'll be here
But
all
it's
night.
boys' night.
Come tell me about it.
I was planning to go to the Bolorama and roll a couple of friends. You never come between a priest and his bowling ball.
the 11th commandment.
It was on the back of the other commandments.
I feel like such a fool having brought you here on a wild goose chase. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. I mean,
I only traveled 3,000 miles, so.
Call me and I'll come back.
You're a nice man, Paul. Thanks.
You're a nice
Is
man.
he a nice man?
Thank you.
God, we don't need this subplot.
Thank you for
Nobody's ever told me that before.
I'll be riding high all day after that compliment. You've done it again, Paul. Crazy taxi over here.
Whoa!
Sorry, you want me to turn up the offspring?
Where are you been? Bet he's gonna skim a nice piece off them dog track profits, that's for sure.
You want to watch the road, please?
I don't have to. I know it by heart.
You're on the left side of the road.
Of course, Perry
Me
is a
trying to
little
learn how to
dishonest,
drive.
no more than he ought to be. Holy, I'll be damned. What'd I do wrong?
Beats me.
What he meant to say was beat me. That's what I like.
What?
I never got stopped by an ambulance before.
I think that's for me.
Because I'm losing my damn mind in this car.
Isn't he gonna pay the guy?
Miss me already?
Snake attack.
No.
Symptoms is the first one.
The one that got away.
This one you'll see.
Well, how can you be sure?
I hijacked it.
It's in there. She hijacked the ambulance?
At gunpoint. At
Bitch.
scalpel point.
Yes.
I've never
The
seen
lady.
this kind of toxic reaction.
That was on the phone.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah,
This is so weird.
the sorceress,
Snake
or whatever
bites
she
like
calls
some sort of
herself.
Crazy epidemic. I don't know how to cope with it.
Let's get back to the hospital, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Remember in the days before cell phones, when you wanted to get somebody's attention, you'd have to hijack an ambulance?
You mean the good old days?
That's it, yeah, exactly. When women were women and men were men.
Still didn't pay the
And
taxi
snakes
driver.
were Satan.
What'd you say, Dan?
He still didn't pay the taxi driver.
Does this take place in Alabama or Alaska? Because it said ALA on the ambulance.
Alabama.
Oh, Alabama.
Ooh,
The
two-stepping
only
it
place
down.
that would have snake
Sheriff, they got
carnivals.
some kind of snake over at Willard's Hardware.
Anybody hurt?
No, they got it boxed in.
What kind of snake is it?
Black one.
Natch.
What?
What did he say?
Match? Natch? Nadge?
Natch. Like naturally? Natch.
Natch. I'll take care of this goddamn snake. just like a cop to call in the army. Get the shields, boys.
Rolling in the background.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Aww.
Is the snake
Rescue
gonna
him.
come eat it? Yeah, he's not dead yet.
Also, that's a health code violation.
Yeah.
Word.
I'll hide in this bread.
Wouldn't you just call animal control? I mean, I don't know. This was 1981. I don't know what the snake laws were, but why would you call the police?
He's broken section 4.7-B of snake law. Wait, that's not the same snake that was in the...
No.
No, right? Didn't it have like a thingy?
It was like a cobra.
Yeah. What?
How-
Did he kill it or?
So what's
The snake also fainted. Oh.
Yeah.
Your motel's just up the road.
What's it called?
Motel? It's the only one in town.
Thanks for the car.
It's called the Slither Inn.
You ought to get some sleep.
Ah!
We won't get the results till tomorrow.
Nothing could keep me up tonight.
You're staying on top of Snake Mountain.
Okay.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Just let me off in the woods. I'll walk from here to the same motel. What if it was called Motel Motel and the people who owned it were like Mr. and Mrs. Motel?
Yeah. Maurice Tell, nice to meet you.
Motel's Motel.
Mo and Maud Tells.
Maud Tell. What the hell? This girl is in a greenhouse? She's got so many plants. Wow. What a nice house. Jeez. Oh, hell yeah. Who's that painting?
A Gorton's Fisherman. Paint the Gorton's Fisherman. Hold still, Mr. Fisherman.
Somewhere there's a really young Gorton's Fisherman, but the painting gets
Yeah.
older.
There's more fish sticks on it.
Yeah.
Oh, please don't tell me I have to blur this one out. It
I
takes so
know.
long to blur it out. It doesn't take a long time to blur it out. It takes a long time to render it.
Right. Uh-oh. How do you not notice that? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know it's on the floor, but like that thing is huge.
Yeah.
Lauren and I went upstate one time to do like a hike, and like a kind of a big black snake was like slithering behind us, and I immediately heard it, and I turned, and I was like, "Oh, hey, a snake!" And the snake went, "Ah!" and it just like ran. It was like so scared to have been noticed.
Yeah. It was shy.
Yeah, it was really shy.
Not in the bathtub. Oh my god, just the slowest jewelry removal scene of all time.
I don't like water.
Girl.
Also, wait. So that's like the worst kind of shower where like you step into like
Right
the flow.
under the
like
spray,
right under
yeah.
it. Yeah, like
There's two snakes?
That's Snaketon. Snakin. Trying to do a Satan.
Oh.
Snakin. Snake Plissken.
Yeah, that's all I
Do you
could think when you said that.
Do you think every time the Satan snake kills someone, a new snake is made? It's like a hydra and it keeps multiplying.
Or like that person's soul goes into a snake.
Yeah.
Whoa. And then they have to do Satan's bidding?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, what? Listen, I knew what we were getting into when we chose this movie. But what is this movie? Oh look, they blurred it out for you, Joe.
Thank God. Time to let my snakes down.
She's Medusa, actually.
Yeah.
Can't wait to walk around my house in the dark naked. It's my favorite part of the evening.
I mean, a snake would have no use for this.
What, this scene?
Well, like this woman, like,
Oh yeah.
and like her being like naked, like a snake has no use for that. A snake only
Right?
wants one thing: blood.
Nice. She pulls out like a meat cleaver that she keeps in the nightstand. Yeah.
It's a meat cleaver, but it's a gun on the other side.
Yeah. Oh, Joe, you're gonna have to blur out his nipples.
I know. How offensive.
I know. Oh, Jesus!
Wait, did he take the phone with him? The disconnected phone?
I hope so.
Also, his place is called Hotel, not Motel.
It's called Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she said it's called Motel.
Yeah.
Clearly not, girl.
Wayland Slithers here. When we shot this scene, I remember me and the actress had a very contentious relationship on set. She didn't take me seriously as an actor. I wish I had googly eyes.
Yeah.
Ah, that would be perfect.
What was that music?
Those sound effects were added later in post.
Oh, Jesus. I'm not actually a rattlesnake. I'm merely
How
a...
does he know where to go?
It's a misconception. I'm actually a diamondback.
It was a prosthetic rattler?
Yeah.
Stay there.
Snakes
Oh,
and
don't
rattlers
worry.
are beneath me.
Don't worry,
Don't
I've got
worry,
my
I brought my...
snake pole thing.
Yeah, whatever the hell that thing's called.
Yeah, I don't know what you call it. My snake grabber.
Yeah.
It's got a little dinosaur head on the end.
That's what I was going to say. The little...
Oh, you know those, the Nyla bones for pups, like the plastic bones they could chew on? They have them in dinosaur shapes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's even more fun for the dog.
Yeah, Paige got
Yeah.
a T-Rex one for Pepper, and she already ate its head off.
Of course she did. I wonder how many snakes they used in this movie.
Well, I can tell you that there was a team of about 16 snakes on set at all times. Much like underage actors, there is a limit to how much a snake can work on set per day.
God, he looks so nervous.
This is the most anticlimactic snake wrangling scene I've ever seen.
Of all the snake wrangling scenes,
Like, why is it taking him so long to do this?
right? Did he just say, "Give me the gun"?
Oh my god, they're gonna blow this guy's head off.
Yes! Shoot him!
Shoot the snake. Why do you have to shoot it?
Get on with it. Yes!
Oh!
This scene was very controversial in the snake community. We don't like to see one of our own being tortured or... This scene actually violated the...
The contract.
What the
Yes.
hell?
Why would you shoot? You're in a house. Are there...
Whoa.
Can you get... Oh, he's back there. Oh.
Both slaps were not
then
in
they
the script.
kiss.
Oh my god. That was the most dramatic 20 seconds.
Who thinks like this? Okay, first of all, like we talk about this often. The audacity of the writers and directors to think that this is a movie that people want to see. That these scenes, that this tension is really going to get anybody's goat.
Oh my god, please.
Did I hurt you?
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry, but he smacked you first.
Yeah. She's like, good, you deserved it.
Yeah, did I hurt you? Yes, good. Also, like, I could probably name on one hand the good horror movies that have romantic plots in them.
Yeah.
That aren't just like in Rosemary's Baby, she's married, but I wouldn't consider that like a romance necessarily.
Like where you
But
want the
every
two
bad
characters
horror
to end up
movie-
together.
Right. Every
I-
bad
what-
horror movie has a
Yeah.
romance, but
By the way,
Well, it's like it's a misconception that that's what people like are interested in. Like when you go back to like old movies from the 30s and 40s, like the love interest is the story, and then it's like built around that is like crime or whatever. Like just doesn't work anymore.
Spokesman said Mrs.
Yeah.
Downs died of an unknown ailment.
And like the last thing I want to see in a horror movie is is two people meeting and falling in love.
Right. Unless the person that they're falling in love with is like the bad guy, and you're going to see how that affects them.
She falls in love with the snake.
Yeah.
You slithered your way to my heart. And rattled my soul.
Oh.
Oh, they put that when they don't want to say the real cause, like if it was suicide or the liquor.
Those are the top two.
Yeah.
Suicide, liquor, and then COVID are the top 3 killers.
And then satanic snake bites.
Yeah.
This is great. Made everything from scratch. Even the rolls.
It's the only way I like to cook.
God, come on.
They only knew each other for like one day.
I was gonna say, fuck off. This is. It's just like in Contamination. I was like, these two people hate each other.
Right.
And in Sinjanor, all of these movies have these romantic plots where the two people are either rude to each other at the beginning, or like barely have known each other.
Yeah. Classic romance though, right? In like every Hollywood movie, they hate each other, they love each other, and then one discovers a secret about the other, and then the other one has to apologize at the last minute, and then they love each other. But like, no relationship works like that.
No.
In the sequel, they would be like divorced. Like
I know. I was gonna say, usually if I hate someone, I just try to never be around them ever.
Yeah.
So
ignore them.
the risk of falling in love with them is.
She was killed by a snake.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes you're the Brooklyn detective to their astronaut, and you just have to stick it out.
You know, that's true. If that were the case of Contamination, it would have been gay lovers. The woman was. That was the secret subplot. If you watch closely, the two men are actually in love.
No. No, not yet. Excuse me.
I've gotta go. Oh, too late. Can I use your hose?
See what's in store for you. This is where you're sent when you can no longer break the wafer.
Very peaceful.
Oh my God, he can't even break the wafer. Jesus.
The body of. Well,
I
you
think yours
take care
is
of it.
far from peaceful.
I didn't know it showed.
The bishop was talking about you the other day.
Yes. He said my attitude is bad. I'm not well loved in the parish. Doesn't know what to make of me.
Very close.
That's not what I want to talk to you about.
What is it, Tom?
I have a riddle for you. Well, more of a question. More of a statement.
If this were a case of typhoid, you'd listen to me.
Exactly.
What?
But it's not. There was a snake in your room. That's not an epidemic.
Exactly.
There have been other victims.
It's
You
true.
ordered one of them cremated.
I spoke to Dr. Owens. He said he didn't know the cause.
Dr.
of
Jesse
that
Owens.
death. As far as I can tell, I was dealing with.
He ran all the way over here.
I had to act.
No authority. Paul Hendricks is a noted herpetologist. He thinks this situation is extremely dangerous. He has agreed to stay here and help us.
And also have sex with me. It's not important.
It's a line item, but
Are
it's
you
not.
sure
It's not charging us.
Just the snake that is in here.
I hope not.
When do we get to the St. Patrick part?
I can.
Never.
Will you at least warn them?
He's gonna find like his family tree all of a sudden.
Yeah.
45 minutes into this movie.
Lives are in danger here.
I'll take that risk.
He gets his like 23andMe kit back.
Yeah. He's like, oh, finally, I sent this out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You're not laughing.
No time.
It says 99.99% Irish.
Don't tell me anything
It just says snake charmer.
You don't know nothing about it.
Yeah. It's just a picture of St. Patrick.
How much were you ever told about your father's death?
Father.
Uh-oh, backstory.
No, your father was St. Patrick.
Took his own life.
He was very old.
He kept saying that something was after him.
Something was after him. He has a very old,
I thought he was
old man's voice.
paranoid fears.
What happened?
That one day he was found, horribly mutilated,
Whoa.
a razor clutched in his hand.
What?
Let's sit on the ground.
Imagine.
Too late. I started to trace the family records. I found violent deaths, bizarre incidents, strange disappearances, every third generation. I traced it all the way back, astounded, till I came to O'Farah, a follower of St. Patrick. Wayland, the scourge of the Druids. He burned their shrines and the oak trees they held so sacred, so that the Druid high priest pronounced a curse upon O'Farah and all his children, on and on.
To my father.
Okay, so he's not related to St. Patrick. He's related to a follower of St. Patrick.
Yeah, that's not the same.
Trembling in my nightmares.
Just because I like Queen doesn't mean I am Freddie Mercury.
Generation, why should I be affected?
Or am I?
Priest.
Maybe you
I
are.
thought our family was
Have you ever
out
seen
with
us in the
us.
same
I
room?
thought it was all over.
No.
Has to be another explanation for this.
If Satan has descended on your parish, there should be signs of his presence. Aberrations of nature. Animals acting strangely.
Look at this shifty eyes on this
I
guy.
was just gonna say.
The snake was the first form. that
Satan could be listening
ever
right now.
What can I do?
Thank God he doesn't understand
Your
English.
strongest weapon is your faith in God.
No, my strongest weapon is a gun. Because a gun always beats a snake.
Yeah. You know, in rock, paper, scissors, gun, snake, gun always wins against snake.
Much mortal of sins. No wonder Satan has come for you now. He chooses his moment with the skill of a diamond cutter. My guess is that you have never been closer to him. It's your soul he's after. A priest would make a bright flame in hell.
Why is it dark in hell? Does he need it to be brighter?
Yes.
He's like, God, my light bulb burned out again. Gotta go kill another priest. Uh-oh, the teens.
Not make out
Come on,
point.
man, let's go to the car.
Anything but make
A
out
little more
point.
comfortable, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Later, maybe.
Oh!
Got his ass. Well, 6 more dead ones.
All in a day's work, boys.
What in the hell's going on anyway?
I don't know. Whatever it is, the mayor wants a tight lid on it.
Yeah, we don't need a bunch of drunk hunters out shooting up the woods.
Yeah. Jack.
Huh?
You done any hunting lately? Report every 15 minutes. If you see anything, yell.
All right.
Get to use the AK now. He's got like a riot shield.
Yeah.
He keeps tossing grenades out there.
Just in case.
He goes out and he like takes off his shirt. He's got like 2 big machine guns.
I like a bandolier of ammo.
He ties his tie around his head, or his forehead.
And paints like the 2 black lines.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little black girl. Oh my god.
I swear,
that
Sheriff,
joke
she was coming right for me. I swear.
Oh no.
She was so cute too. Just walking through the woods. First of all, that's not even like woods you can play in. That's like dead trees that look like they have thorns on them.
Yeah.
Someone come get the little girl that was playing out there alone.
She's like, "Excuse me, sir, I'm lost. Can you help me?"
Bah, 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 bah.
I got snakes to find.
Down here.
Resisting arrest. Well, I've walked as far as I could walk.
He looks like he has trouble walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? His pants are too high.
Yeah, that's the problem.
He has less mobility.
I mean, who they really need is that guy, Man versus Tracker, or Tracker versus Man, or whatever that was called. Yeah, what was that show
Wasn't
called?
it? I think it was just called Man Tracker.
Oh, Man Tracker, yeah.
Jack?
Oh!
Jack? Come in.
What doesn't make sense is that, okay, like, if you see a snake in the wild, yes, it's, like, unnerving, but, like, that you would faint instantly and, like, freeze in horror?
Seriously? Don't you have a gun?
It's a demon snake. It's scarier than a normal one.
That's true.
On this week's episode of The Munsters, there's blood.
Oh!
John Doe has the upper hand now.
Evelyn Downs seemed more alive than most people. Now she's dead.
I could have also said, "You like ice cream, Doc?"
No, you can't. We've said it every episode so far.
Understand his will.
Oh, when he was running out of the hotel, I could have said, "Your ice cream, Doc."
Yeah.
You stand as if lacking a vital sense of Evelyn's
For
soul.
avid fans have never heard of it, they'll know we only have 4 jokes.
Uh-huh. Well, there are no jokes.
That's true.
No, it's just
O Lord,
situations
mercies.
Yeah.
that happen to be humorous through no fault of our own.
To us only.
Thy servant Evelyn.
Yeah.
And grant her entrance into the land of light and joy.
What was that little girl doing in the woods?
In the name of the Father.
It's a red herring.
That little girl, right?
She's the devil.
Oh, yes. It always takes the form you least expect. Like a little girl strolling alone in the dead woods.
The sheriff's daughter.
Yeah.
And one for me. I'll take my payment now.
The white ones are my favorite.
And one for Charlie. Now to open up the casket and give him a kiss goodbye.
What is that?
Crucifix.
Is that St. Patrick's sword?
Startled. Look, I've come across something very important. This is a sort of
It's a first edition Harry Potter.
The one where Harry says the N-word.
The one with even more poorly veiled racist stereotypes.
How do you feel about the gays? Well, I'll tell you what Harry feels.
Now it says here that Timothy faced the demon, who was in the form of a large serpent, and defeated him.
Speak
Also,
of the devil. Hey.
Leave it to like terrible movie writing that like instead of going to a new scene that this happens here because you don't have enough like resources to like film this later in a different scene. It all has to happen.
No, it has to
once.
happen at the funeral.
Yeah, exactly. Like
That's a natural shelter. And drove
Dead.
Satan from him with a golden sign. Now what do you suppose that means?
good evening.
Superstitious nonsense. Satan in the body. What is it?
Food.
What's your heart?
All right.
Was that snake
Oh.
banged?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Well, ask, is Mr. Slithers still in the house?
Oh yes. Hold on. He's on a federally mandated break. He can only work 5 minutes at a time. By law. By snake law.
By snake law.
Oh no. Oh, I'm back. And I'm back
For
too.
a second, we just... Hey!
My stunt double
So
for
we're
this
all-
scene was.
I'll be all right.
He's having a heart attack.
It's you he wants.
Do what he wants. Give him mice.
But if it's the priest that he wants, why did he have to kill everybody else?
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't have to kill them. It's not like he was a person and he had to like talk to the people and then kill them so they didn't know what he wanted. He's a fucking snake.
Yeah.
He didn't have to get close to the woman doctor just to get close to the priest. It makes no sense.
I thought he was gonna hop the fence. I didn't see the gap in it.
That would have been amazing. It's hard to run in these priest dresses.
Go, go, Catholic boots! And then he jumps.
Did he fall into a grave? Ah, snakes can't go through gates unless they're invited, like a vampire. Like.
Is he just taunting him?
This scene was completely
God,
improvised. The original script called us to fight each other in an extended sequence that would have taken $65 million to make. But the producers thought that this tension-filled scene was more effective. And here I am now, in my younger and more vulnerable years.
Oh, it doesn't like the frogs.
Imagine if a snake was that loud though in real life. That'd be fucking terrifying.
Yeah, right?
I mean, if that's all it takes to get a snake to, like, leave you, just put a bunch of crosses everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't even have to be like a crucifix or anything. That was just like a piece of metal that happened to be cross-shaped.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's his uncle?
I guess.
Also, who calls their uncle Uncle?
I was just gonna say, when Ruby's born, I hope she just calls you Uncle.
No, he was saying uncle to get out of the headlock.
Oh, like Mercy? Did he die?
I think so.
Oh shit. Well, he's already in a graveyard. That's pretty easy. Just roll him into an open grave.
He'll just throw him in the hole he was just in.
Yeah. Well, it's like, didn't they say that the conductor of the train just died of cardiac arrest? So is it like, even if you're around the snake, you die?
Why
I guess.
we're acting so strange.
Oh, is this the scene where, like, Quint from Jaws scrapes, like, the chalkboard? He's like, I'll kill him.
Yeah.
I'll kill him for 1,000. For 1,000 more.
This guy's gonna scrape the chalkboard with the metal thing he got from the graveyard.
Snake bite. I know that I saw two very big rattlers. And I know that the substantial wound that I saw did not come from a rattlesnake.
What about Mayor Thorpe? Shouldn't he be here?
I spoke with the mayor, but his only concern seems to be the dog track. Now you all
Uh-oh.
What the hell is going on here?
I told you, the people have to be warned.
I don't know what these people have been telling you, but if it has to do with a snake, they've been wasting your time.
Snakes aren't
You
real.
think that saving people's lives is a waste of time?
What lives are we talking about?
Evelyn Downs, for one?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about that kid at the lake?
Yeah, what about him?
I loved him.
What about all 6 of those kids making out under the bridge? I was watching it when it happened. I mean...
And as for Evelyn, Dr. Owens has the autopsy report with him.
Autopsy.
Doctor?
Autopsy?
The cause of
The
death
fuck?
was anaphylactic shock, the result of a severe allergic reaction to a simple bee sting under the right eye.
This, please, This
A
whole
bee with
snake
2 stingers.
hysteria started with one snake at Willard's store, and Sheriff Tatum took care of that. Now, I suggest we all go back to work and forget about this nonsense.
I was nearly killed by a giant snake this morning at Evelyn Down's funeral. If the snake had appeared a few minutes sooner, he would have killed many of the people in this room.
Please. This meeting will continue in private.
Did you see that, Jess?
Yeah. She jumped all the way up.
She like stretches out as high as she could go.
That was so funny. God, this is my favorite movie.
Now we have to talk
I just love whoever. How many people did this script go through?
Yeah.
No one.
Like that.
24 hours, that dog track opens.
At least
no
one
matter
person,
what.
or was it written by one of those things where it's like, we told this AI to read all these scripts and then write one?
It gives you 18 hours to find those snakes and kill them.
That's not enough time.
They're so concerned about the dog track opening.
That's the time you've got.
I'm starting to get a little suspicious
Sheriff
about the
Tatum
dog
will
track.
deputize all the men that you'll
same.
need. Now, if you haven't solved the problem when the time's up, keep your faces shut till that track opens, or you'll find yourself pissing in a jailhouse, John, faster than you can blink.
On what charge?
Credit.
We'll come up with something. Don't think I'm afraid of that turned around collar either. I'd lock up the Pope if he tried to screw up this deal.
I'd lock up the Pope if he told me a killer snake was killing a bunch of people in my town, but I just wanted to open a dog track.
He just recounts the whole plot of the movie.
I'd lock up the Pope if there was a sorceress who looked in the Pope's teacup and saw that the leaves.
That's the new dog track? That's the wonderful place that they don't want to jeopardize?
That's the one.
Jesus. The standards, once again, are so low.
How low are they?
They were so low.
The best place.
Sorry. Is he driving this helicopter flying? Sorry.
I was gonna say, from up here you could really see all the snakes.
Oh, I for real thought that he was flying it.
Isn't this just the same shot we saw?
Yes.
It looks right. They like to sun themselves on the rocks.
Put on the headphones and you don't have to scream at each other.
Yeah.
Literally.
I can't hear. I can't.
Okay.
How do they know where we're going?
Also, like, yeah, the snakes sun themselves on the rocks, but would you really be able to tell the difference between snakes and, like, all these little cracks?
Yeah.
When you're in a fucking helicopter?
Please tell me there's going to be a snake in her backseat.
Oh, you just see it in the rear view.
The snake is coming from inside the car.
She looks over and it's the snake on a motorcycle.
It's two snakes in a trench coat.
Wow. Literally, life as a woman. A guy trying to catcall you while you're both driving.
And how would he have seen what she looks like as she drove by?
What was the point of that scene?
What's the point of any of this?
Easy Rider over here.
Dan?
That may look like our snake, Sheriff, but it's just an ordinary garden snake.
How
I
can we tell
command
the
thee.
difference?
No, I got scared.
Why wouldn't he bring his thingy?
Got his ass.
Yeah.
Teach you to suck eggs.
Open it wide.
Squidward voted most likely to suck eggs.
Good. Now we'll take turns beating him against the rocks.
5 normally defensive.
He just like swings it around.
The snakes inside are going like, ee, ee,
It's like they're moving in the same direction.
What's up there? I don't know. Sure? Someplace it might attract them.
Every time he cinches the bag, the snakes make a noise.
Yeah.
Cave.
Oh my god! Jesus.
The wheels of Satan. And these are the stairs of Satan.
Oh my god, why would that guy do that? What does he think this is, Hell High?
Subaru for all of life's little moments.
For all of life's little possessions. Oh no. Not on a bridge.
I've never seen anyone so calmly veer off the road.
With the straightest face. Girl, if you don't get out of here.
My mortal enemy. The locks on doors. The child safety locks.
Yeah.
He's like,
I'll shoot you like a snake.
I ain't no snake this time, baby. I'm all man.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, there's only like 20 minutes left in the movie. And like now they do a rape scene.
I know.
Oh, what if it was like a Buffalo Bill situation where he just wanted their skin because he has to shed his constantly?
Because he is a snake.
Yeah.
I mean, he is touching her face a lot. He's making sure it's soft.
Mm-hmm. What are you, about a size 14?
Is she a great big fat person?
Best line in like movie history.
I know.
And then Jodie Foster's like, "Yep, she's a big girl."
Yeah.
Oh wait. Here he comes to save the day.
What is happening?
No, man, I ain't messing with no snake.
Shouldn't the Satan that's jumping in between snakes be angry at her because she got him shot earlier?
Right.
But he kind of helped her just...
It's gonna bite the handle.
Oh. And open it?
Yeah.
Ow.
I thought you said the guy was reliable. I don't want to hear any more nonsense about snakes. He knew his job, he just failed to carry it out. And you tell him to get on his bike and ride it away from this town, or I'll get him locked up. Now, do it.
Do it.
Wait, was that guy supposed to kill her?
Yes.
I don't get it.
Jesus Christ, that was dark.
At least that proves he's in there.
Yeah, well, was. If he shed this, he'll probably be out in the prowl.
Ew, 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 ew. Gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
Cheesecloth.
I'm gonna need a few things.
Someone was making oat milk in here.
Well, look, maybe when we're back there, we can ask him to extend that curfew.
We can try.
The snake curfew?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All the snakes have to be back in the cave by 9 p.m.
That's like a snake's. That's like how a snake calls.
Uh-oh, a friend.
No, he had more brown spots on his face.
Sure, that's it.
All right, now.
It's like a sketch artist.
Yeah.
Was more than just, I suppose this was the embodiment of evil.
He had little sunglasses on.
And a trench
Evelyn
coat.
was trying to warn you of something. She was killed. My uncle, the Monsignor, knew his secret. The serpent caused his death. This new man in the hospital, maybe he knew something.
And the first one, the boy on the train.
Yes.
It can't be just coincidence.
You understand what you're saying?
You understand that I
Snakes
look
don't
like
make plans.
a poor man's
They're pure
version of an
instinct.
A-list celebrity? That I'll never get my due in
Separation from the
Hollywood?
subconscious. Something happens and they respond.
Not another movie with a guy who looks like another guy.
I know.
And any beast of the field which
Was that the
Lord
last
God
movie we
hath
watched? Was that Nightmare on the
Yeah.
13th
Yes.
Floor where it was like everybody and their mother was like...
It's a goddamn
Yeah, because it was James
lookalike.
Brolin, a guy who looked like David Naughton.
That's right.
I don't even remember the other ones because I blacked that movie out of my head.
One whole thing.
It was C-list celebrities who look like B-list celebrities.
Dangerous snakes out there, man.
But they sound like D-list.
Oh.
Leave snakes alone.
By the way, is this Christina Applegate? Is this the movie I said she's in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that must
She's
be
this
her.
little
It's
girl.
gotta be her.
Veronica
running
had a
from
very
home.
funny snake today.
Veronica Corningstone and I had sex.
Had snakes. The human snake was denied a bank loan.
The satanic snake. This is your Dr. Mike Rifkin. You got a snake in your backyard.
You had to move to Russia.
Yeah. She goes outside and the little black girl is there and she's like, hey, do you want to play in the woods with me? She's like, no other little kids are ever out here.
Did she find a gun?
There's a cat buried in there.
What?
What?
No.
What the hell?
That's an old witch
What?
ritual. Bury a cat in
yes.
the backyard.
With the dog.
2 drops of blood,
That's all you think
a
about
snake's
anymore.
head,
Happening.
You live
An
in
eye
pretty
of
well
newt.
because I
the
think
beak
about
of a
my
crow.
business investments.
There's a difference between good business.
How much is
and
left in
taking
this
advantage
movie?
of people.
Because it still feels like nothing has happened.
You've changed lately.
There
And
is
it's not a pleasant
16 minutes left.
Oh my god. How are they going to wrap this up?
Did you go out after it?
Yes.
You were told not to go outside. There's a curfew, you know that.
That's why I had to get Bandit. He was all alone. I was really worried about him, Dad.
That was so cute.
I understand.
I don't. Now, you disobeyed and you might have been hurt. You're grounded for the rest
She
of
definitely let a snake in.
But what about the opening tomorrow?
I said.
I want to go to the dog track, Mom.
She wants to bring the cat to the dog track.
Yeah. They chase the cat around. That's how it works.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is Christina Applegate's feature film debut.
Oh.
Her feature film debut.
Debut, sorry. I always pronounce it wrong.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do the snake shuffle. We're gonna get bitten by the snake. All right, Jordan, pick it up a little bit. You on guitar, a little faster there. You're in the wrong key. Should be in the key of S. No snake's gonna get us today. Hey, hey, hey.
Is the drummer only allowed to like rub one of those brushes on his snare? So
Yeah.
it makes
Yeah, to make it
sound.
Wow, that guy playing bass is like, looks like Flea over there, slapping that bass.
The conductor guy's just doing like this.
Like, slow down. Follow you.
This is going to be the biggest thing that ever happened to this state.
The whole state?
This is the biggest piece of architecture in the state.
Here comes Veronica Corningstone.
I'll just leave my bike here.
Yep.
That's fine. No one will touch it.
Hey, open it up, will you, Chief? I've got money to lose.
Give it to me. I can guarantee you'll never see it again.
Gambling's illegal.
Oh no, he's probably busy.
Go on in. He's showing some people around.
Okay.
Hey, she got in. That's not fair. General admission 50 cents.
Jesus. 1981
Oh,
was a very different time.
Is there? It's just like abandoned. This is not ready to open.
I know. It looks like an abandoned middle school a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh girl,
She's
no.
gotta hide in the snake closet.
Hide and go snake.
Oh, she got bit?
Oh no, it's come to bite me in the ass.
That's what they get for ignoring Satan in favor of a dog
man.
track.
He's gonna bite Corningstone's leg.
Pepper's trying to get Mo to play.
I know, she was losing her mind just then.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was the band striking up again.
Hey, remember, we're gonna have to cover all of this music when we make our band.
Oh, that's right.
true. Someday we'll get to the end of the movie. Then we will know what it's like to finish the movie. It never ends.
Is it the theme song
Yes.
to our podcast?
Doors of Satan. Goes up
Oh
into-
no!
Oh no.
Falling slowly.
I fell down and hurt my stomach.
Should you get her to the hospital?
Better not move her. For some damn reason, her body's reacting to the bite twice as fast as it should. The hospital.
Well, she's
She's
smaller.
tiny.
Bring
Yeah.
out and tell the people
I don't have
that
to be a small town
Wait a
doctor
minute.
/ coroner to do this, to know this.
Just a snake in a small town. Biting people in a small town.
Just a small town snake.
Corrupted
Living
by
in a lonely
Satan.
Do you know where he is? The caverns.
Took the midnight train to the carnival.
That's it. That's it.
That's the one.
Don't bite the people. You'll kill them with your venom. Saint Peter will kill them. But he doesn't know that he's an ancestor / maybe that his great grandfather was a follower.
Or it could be. Wait, now I don't remember the two shit. I was gonna say it could be St. Patrick will kill you with a gun.
Or another one of Journey's hits. Any snake you want.
Oh no.
This is the cup of my blood.
Any way you snake it, that's the way you snake it.
It will be shed for you
Come and bite my
for all
thigh.
men, so that sin may be forgiven.
She loves to bite. She loves to hiss. She loves a lot of things.
Memory of me.
The epic showdown where the snake like throws open the doors, and he's like silhouetted, and it's like smoke behind him.
Yeah.
And then lightning in the background. The Illuminati.
The almighty dollar.
What?
Wait, where was the woman? Oh, she went
whose
into the
scream
cave.
was that?
The main character
okay,
went into
okay.
the cave.
Oh.
Sorry, I was too busy rewriting Journey songs.
That's true.
God, I really miss the subtitles.
I know. It means you have to pay attention more.
Ugh. It's not the point of this podcast.
Wow, his congregation was really close to the cave where the snake lives.
Yep.
Thanks to not having subtitles, even though the subtitles are wrong most of the time, I have no idea what any character's name is in this entire
Same!
movie.
No.
Same.
I couldn't tell you a single character's name.
I honestly don't know if they've said anyone's names. Other than, like, maybe the priest. His name is Father Pharaoh. I know that. Because I was like, is this a Mia Farrow joke? In my head. Like that, like not like an Egyptian pharaoh. But Farrow.
Satan!
You rang.
Now, an epic battle between good and evil.
The slowest epic battle between good and evil.
Sancte Michael Arcangelo, defend nos in Rio.
No! Perpendicular
Contra
lines!
insidias, diaboli est,
Intersections! No!
Yeah, like, can Satan not go through intersections?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not four-way ones.
He's like, keep going straight, just keep going straight, just keep going straight. He holds his breath at intersections like we hold our breath at cemeteries.
At cemeteries, yeah. Okay, listen, I don't know a lot about saint lore, but I don't think that all St. Patrick did was like hold up a crucifix and all the snakes went, okay, bye.
I believe
they jumped off of
Heartbeat's
islands.
almost normal.
I believe
Get
he
her into
played
the
a pipe.
ambulance now.
Okay, let's go.
Right? Oh man, look at this person's haircut. Oh god, that's the word. It's an Oompa Loompa.
I'm going with it.
She wore a watermelon and they just cut around it.
Yeah. Very man-dark situation we got going on.
I was looking up
Classic
what
man
St.
dark.
Patrick did to send the snakes out of Ireland. And one of the headings in the Wikipedia page says like name, and it's like the history of his name, and then it says dating, and I was like, why the information on who St. Patrick dated?
Yeah, St. Patrick was well known as a ladies' man.
But no, it was about the year that it happened.
No,
He was dating like one St.
he
Patrick.
courted a lot of women who scorned him, and he called them snakes. He drove out all the women from Ireland.
Dan Mo looks like she's watching the movie. Oh, she was looking right at your screen a second ago.
Wait, isn't that a piece of wood? How is that reflecting like that?
I know. I love that he laid down on this thing, by the way.
I'll only do this scene if I'm comfortable.
Fighting a satanic snake is exhausting. Man, like, I don't know how anyone can be that scared of like the Satan in movies, because literally all you have to do is say some shit in Latin and it's like, okay, bye.
Yeah. And this is the climax of this movie. Like, everything is supposed to come to this point where he burns the Satan snake, and I'm just like not even paying attention.
I know.
I care so little about what's happening.
Seriously.
I mean, another good thing about this podcast is that we never have to watch these movies again.
God, I know.
You know, like we never have to return to this.
I wish I'd never watched it in the first place.
I know.
It's the one regret of this podcast.
Yeah. It's just weekly torture.
I guess it's good for if anybody ever asks, like, oh, what's the worst movie you've ever seen?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
You can say Nightmare on the 13th Floor.
Can you
Let me
recommend
tell
a couple
you
of
about
movies?
Hell High.
I'm looking for some new movies to watch. What do you recommend? Well, let me tell you about
I don't have
Sims at
access to any streaming services.
What?
So I'd like to. I said I don't have access to any streaming services. So if it's on YouTube, that would be best. Thanks. Yeah.
Let me tell you.
I would
At
suggest
the end?
Contamination. What, Dan?
I was just asking if that was it.
It is
Yep.
it.
Yes, clearly it is.
Look at
You know
all these
some
names we didn't know.
You know, some movies, like, the climax happens and then you get like that little bit of downtime afterwards, but it's like it sets up what the characters did afterwards and how, you know, who's what. No, all of these movies that we've watched, I feel like, are just like the guy dies or whatever, and it's like the end.
Yeah,
Just credits.
it's like that's 80s movie writing. It's like you have to have like this climactic end that just satisfies everything. And then the characters are not important enough to like find out. Like they don't have text at the end. It's like, oh, you know, Mr. the Doctor went on to win a Pulitzer. Like we were watching.
You know that famous Doctor Award, the Pulitzer.
We were watching Boys in the Hood the other day, and at the end of the movie, there's like this. It's very similar. It's like this climactic scene where Ice Cube and his friends go to get revenge on these guys that killed one of their own, and they like murder him. And then, like, the next scene is, like, he goes to talk to Cuba Gooding Jr., and then as Ice-T's walking away, he fades away, and it just said, he was murdered 2 weeks later. And then it cuts to and it cuts to Cuba Gooding Jr., it's like, he ended up going to college and went across the street from his girlfriend who was going to another college. And the movie ends. And you're like, this is how this journey ends. It's like, with these, like, it's like the ending of Animal House, with like, oh, John Belushi went on to be the mayor of the town.
You're like, God, I don't care about any of this.
Yeah. The characters were never important.
The Miami Serpentarium.
Yes.
We would also like to thank Bill Host.
Yeah.
Nope.
No. Inseminoid.
Jaws of Satan, released by MGM.
Wow. Jesus.
I'm surprised by the quality of the movie.
Because it's so bad.
Okay, so Wheezy 2 years ago said, I'm surprised by the quality of this movie. Even the clothes, hairdos, decorations, etc. isn't that different from now. The only thing is that evil wasn't as rampant then as it is nowadays. Pure evil is what we witness in this century.
What?
Sir or madam, what movies are you watching from 2018 that look like this movie?
Maybe she lives somewhere like in real life that's stuck in the 80s. Everybody has like, the same style clothes.
Like the whole Midwest. Jimmy Peebles 1 year ago said, this movie was made in my city. Little known fact. I wish he would tell us the name of the city.
Jimmy Peebles.
I guess it is a little known fact that this movie was made in the city
in Jimmy Peebles.
Yes.
That's a pretty little known fact.
I did not know that.
What does William H. Phillips say? Is that what that name is?
Yes, he says Jaws of Kokama.
All right.
Dennis Constancio Souza said, an ecological or a supernatural terror movie? A priest taking advices from a witch? And this is only the beginning here. There is several mistakes in this movie, but if you're looking for fun without brain, this film can be a good choice. Congrats for the channel and to the post. It is a real obscure piece.
We're changing this podcast to without brain. Oh my god.
Jason Peters 3 months ago said Christina Applegate first.
Okay.
Not Christina Applegate's daughter, Christina Applegate II.
Yes, of course.
Terry Murphy 1 year ago said she gets run off the road by a bike. Is she that stupid? And Mr. Methadrine 3 months ago said, what a boring crap.
I agree with that person.
Daria Sevink 8 months ago said, Koku glagaman, Korku filmy, Bendin Baska is layin Turk yukmu. And all I have to say is, Daria, I agree.
Thumbs up.
Oh, the Christian Cowboy 2 years ago said, I've been studying the Bible for over 30 years, and I can tell you that this movie, like so many others, have nailed it. If Satan has one kryptonite...
I was not expecting that.
If Satan has one kryptonite, if he hates one thing and fears it more than anything, I tell you that one thing is Latin.
That's what I said.
Here's my favorite one, which I will upvote. Dee Dee from 2 years ago just said, Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
And Dee Dee
Hail
together,
Satan.
let's Hail Satan. Okay, now where does this one rank on our list?
What's the current ranking? Because we can't see.
Oh, okay, so
overlay
Contamination,
Okay.
Funeral Home, Scared to Death, Hell High, Nightmare on 13th Floor.
I would say between Sinjanor and Hell High.
But this is top five.
I would rather watch Hell High again than watch this movie again.
Yeah, because at least Hell High was like, even though it was disturbing.
Yeah, they ruined the football game. Those two people just got impaled in like the first 30 seconds of that movie.
I would say that this one is slightly better than Nightmare on the 13th Floor.
Yes.
Only slightly, though. Just because, like, they were like, I don't know, it felt like the snake was like a more interesting bad guy than just James Brolin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
I definitely think that Nightmare on the 13th Floor should just be stricken from the record, just the whole episode.
Oh my god. Well, another one bites the
so
dust.
I guess what? This is number 5?
I think it's a solid 5.
Yeah.
Nightmare on 13th Floor
5 out of 100.
Hard to beat. I mean, it's going to fall off our list, so we won't remember it's even there.
Yeah.
Thank God.
It exists.
I mean, it's all about knocking Contamination off the list.
It's true.
That's a tall order.
We should keep the entire list.
Oh, I will. Yeah, I absolutely.
Okay.
Oh,
so we could see like if we get to 20, 30, 40 episodes, we can see like where in that list it fits.
So
Yeah.
do you guys use Letterboxd? The app Letterboxd?
I do not, but
It's like a way to keep track of like all the movies you watch. So I have an account for Never Heard of It.
Oh, cool.
I'm
these
pretty sure
movies are on Letterboxd. They exist on a website.
I think I have the link in the description of the videos. I'm pretty sure. And every time we watch a movie, I add it to the list.
Gotcha.
Of like what date that we watched it. So follow us on Letterboxd. I think we're just Never Heard of It on there. Either that or Never Heard of It 2020. It's in the description. If you're even watching this, I mean.
Seriously. I just feel like these movies take all the good parts of horror movies and they just throw them in a blender with the $5 bill from whatever movie that was. And they take the fear, the social commentary, the interesting like interpersonal dynamics and like cool effects, and they just say, hey, what if we turned all these into shit?
hey, what if we just use none of this?
Yeah.
Literally.
Like some guy who owns a car dealership's like, I got $20,000. I'd like to fund a movie.
Right? Because, like, even when a comedy is bad, sometimes you laugh at it.
Right.
But, like,
Yeah.
these movies,
They're never
after we
scary.
watch them, they disappear from my mind completely.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't tell you any of the characters in Funeral Home.
Oh, God, no.
I mean, we keep calling it Funeral House, so...
I know.
True.
I do remember Mickey from Meatballs, though, if that's any.
Yeah, of course.
I remember the random comment from the YouTube page more than anything from the movie itself.
Well, I'll forget the plot of Nightmare on the 13th Floor, but I'll never forget the person who was sad that the homeless guy didn't get his food. Oh, God. Well, buy Joey's book. I brought it over here so I can hold it up.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I'll pop it up on screen here too, the image. Buy
I
it.
started reading it last night.
And you could put it down.
I could. Yes, I could put it down. I was capable of putting it down. No, I read the first chapter.
The first section.
Bounty.
How was the editing?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't notice any typos or grammatical errors, so...
Yet.
Good.
Yet. I got a ways to go.
Yeah. Buy my book. Buy our T-shirts. You look.
We haven't had we don't have a T-shirt for last week or this week.
I know. We got to think of one. We'll get back by next episode.
Wait, no, but last week was the gem convention.
Oh yes.
Yes.
I got to do that one. Yeah. All right. So next.
This one you can do the dog track.
Yes.
The grand opening.
Yeah.
That or the little girl in the woods.
It's just take a screenshot of her like
little lost girl abandoned in the woods dog track. Now open on Route 66. All right, by next episode we'll have more T-shirts.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
To everyone watching at home and Mickey from Meatballs.
Our good friend Mickey.
Our good friend. Oh, and thank you very much to our special guest. Hold on. Get back in here. We're not done with you. Don't worry. I'll pay your cab fare. Thank you very much to Wayland Slithers. Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. I haven't been doing a lot of work since Jaws of Satan sort of dried up in the snake community. So.
Do snakes even live that long?
This certain type of snake does. The long-living rattlesnake. That's me.
He's like a 50-year-old snake.
50, yes, I was in my prime then, and I was doing a lot of cocaine, and I fell down some weird. Fell down some weird rabbit holes. I shed a lot of skin. Thank you for having me. This is the only human interaction I've had.
Thank you, Mr. Slithers.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Slithers.
Thank you.
We're glad you could be here with us.
Next week we'll have another special guest.
I can only imagine who that's going to be.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Oh.
Good night and good luck.
Bye.